You've no doubt heard about the chaos on Capitol Hill this past week. The 118th Congress is getting off to a rocky start. We won't talk about that today, except to say state lawmakers in Kansas and Missouri are hoping to start their sessions on a better note. We begin in Jefferson City, Missouri, where newly sworn-in lawmakers hit the ground running. Even with Republican majorities in the House and Senate, party leaders emphasize the need for bipartisanship and working together.
We have all we need to get things accomplished for Missouri right here in this room.
I don't know about you, but I'd rather go home in May and talk about all that we've accomplished for Missourians together than be forced to recite a list of things that we fought about without getting much done.
Tomorrow afternoon, state lawmakers in Kansas get their turn gaveling in for this year's session in Topeka. It could be eventful as we watch several issues start to pick up steam in the Republican-led legislature. Joining us to talk about it all, please welcome back Brian Ellison, host contributor with KCUR, and Pilar Pedraza, senior political reporter for KAKE News. Welcome to you both. Brian, we'll start in Missouri. What caught your eye this first week?
Well, I think, Cody, one of the things that surprised me, for all the differences between Republicans and Democrats in Jefferson City, and there are many, and I'm sure we'll talk about some of them, there actually were a lot of bipartisan tones sounded with the opening of the legislature this week. You heard a lot of conversation about how the state is going to spend this record-setting surplus. There is a lot of money, part of it left over from the COVID relief funds that came from the federal government, partly just the success of certain economic initiatives in Missouri, and it's going to lead to a lot of conversations about how to gather around some bipartisan priorities, including teacher pay, including funding for educational programs, and perhaps in other areas too.
And they all have different ideas on how to spend this money too.
Well, of course they have different ideas, and even where they agree, for example, there's bipartisan agreement that teacher salaries need to see some increase. What strings come attached to that funding? Will there be additional requirements placed around curriculum? Will there be a so-called Parents' Bill of Rights? Those sorts of initiatives are going to get a lot of opposition from Democrats, and that's where the problem may be, especially on the Senate side, where Democrats still have some power to hold up business by filibustering.
Right. Let's go to Kansas. Tomorrow we'll have a Democratic governor back for a second term, once again facing a Republican legislature. Pilar, Governor Kelly says that she has nothing to lose, right? And she has priorities she wants to get passed.
She most definitely does. She's been very vocal about those priorities, both during the campaign and now, and about the fact that she has political capital to spend at this point. She's a lame duck in the sense that she's termed out. She can't run for a third term. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to leave it all out on the floor. We'll see how far it goes because she is still dealing with a Republican supermajority. There's also rumblings of the potentiality of a recession popping up, and that could throw all sorts of hijinks in there that we don't know what to expect at this point. So it's going to be an interesting session.
Yeah, expect the unexpected for sure. Of course, just like in Missouri, there's a state surplus in Kansas. Lawmakers agree that tax cuts are a good idea, but Republicans, Brian, have a broader list than Governor Kelly here. What should we be watching for?
Well, I think certainly Missouri has always had a tendency to the Republican Party has always wanted to cut taxes, while Democrats are saying we already spend in Missouri less than many other states on key social programs, on education, and they want to see some of that surplus used for those programs. I think another area, Cody, where we're going to see a significant amount of conversation is in efforts to change the citizen initiative process. There are a lot of areas where the Republican Party has seen voters approve initiatives that they themselves do not support, and with issues potentially coming up on future ballots around abortion rights, around continued expansion of social programs, Republicans are looking at ways that it might become more difficult to change the Missouri Constitution through voter initiatives. They're going to get a lot of pushback from Democrats.
Yeah, in Kansas, we know marijuana is a big topic of discussion, right? Recreational marijuana is legal where we are in Missouri. Can't buy it yet, but that's another issue. It is illegal in any form in Kansas, Pilar. Is this the year that we see at least medical marijuana being approved, do you think?
It does seem like it. Now, we know that last year the House passed a bill. It got bogged down in the Senate, never went anywhere. They spent a lot of time between sessions. They had a special intersession committee that went over it. We have now some of the leading senators saying we're going to put together a bill. They want to skip the traditional committee way of putting together a bill because they don't think they could get one out of committee that way. Instead, they want to put together their own bill and try and get enough senators as co-sponsors that bill will sail through. But there does seem to be consensus that, like it or not, and there are a lot of Kansas lawmakers who still do not like the idea, But like it or not, the time has come. They need to get it done.
All they'll need to do is stand on the state line and watch people come into Missouri from Kansas. We don't have any redistricting to worry about this year. How about that? We're also not watching any major campaigns. So, Pilar, you touched on this a little bit with gridlock. Do you think lawmakers in both our states are going to be able to get some things done this year? What do you think about Kansas?
I think we're going to see some stuff done. What a lot of people don't realize is that despite all of the political infighting, 98% of the bills in Kansas, of the work that gets done, is bipartisan. So even while there will be big fights over the expected issues from CRT to impeachment of judges, there are going to be fights over that sort of thing. But the majority of the work, the majority of the bills that are going to affect people's lives, they're going to go through. It's going to get done like it always does.
All right. Well, we will mark both of you down as hopeful for Kansas and Missouri. Pilar Pedraza, Brian Ellison, thank you so much. Remember, the state of Kansas now has a special legislative hotline set up to help you understand what's going on in Topeka. So call 800-432-3924 to see who your legislator is, how to contact them, or check the status of a bill. You can also chat with a research librarian in real time. This is neat. Go to kslib.info/ask. And yes, don't worry, we will guide you through the session here on our broadcast.